of the night, coming all the way from Toronto, please welcome the wonderful, the talented, the hilarious Justen Williams! Justen Williams!
Keep it going for Ryan Sims, ladies and gentlemen. Fancy. How's everyone doing tonight? We're all good? Yeah, good. I love it here. It's a good time to be here. So I asked my father and I said, hey Dad, do you want to come to tonight's show? And he said, no. He's like, well, what I will do is I'll send you a motivational text. And I said, okay. Here's the text message my father sent me. It says, dear son, I'm hoping for the best, but expecting the worst. Love, Dad. Now here's the thing. I do think my father loves me. As much as you can love something you didn't necessarily want. Now, for context, there's two things here. Number one, my father and I are best friends now. He's 71, I'm 32, we're buds, all right? But my father also is the oldest sibling of the same two parents with 15 siblings. I'll say that again. He's the oldest of 15 siblings from the same two parents. Yeah. My grandfather was a professional carpenter by day, but at night, professional pipeliner. So needless to say, my father didn't really want kids, right? So when my mother told him that she was pregnant with me, he was like, okay. And he made it manifest, because he was weird, because he didn't know what to do with me when I was a kid. So when I was like 5 years old, he'd play like kind of random jokes on me, which I think now would be considered abuse. So for context, I was 5 years old, right? We're at my Oma's place, we're having Christmas, we're all around, we're having fun, I'm playing with my cousins, and then I realized I'm an only child. So I go to my pops, I'm like, hey Dad, why don't I have any siblings? And he looked at me right in my face and went, I don't make the same mistake twice. Now go play with some Lego, because it's the 90s. It gets better. When I was 8 years old, I discovered this ability to read. It was fantastic, so my father thought it would be hilarious. For on my 8th birthday, I'm gathered around with my friends, some family, we're eating pizza, and it's the part of the night where we go and we exchange gifts. We don't exchange gifts, they give it to me. And they give me this gift, and my father gives me a card. It's a handmade card, and it reads, one man's trash is another man's treasure. By the way, we're putting you up for adoption. Looking back, that's actually hilarious. But I was like, what does adoption mean? I'm 8, I don't know. My mom did not like the card too much. When I was 16 years old, for whatever reason, unbeknownst to me, my father and I went treetop trekking. It's the whitest thing you'll ever do because you're like 40 feet in the air on like a platform and you're with trees. So you can either like zip line, you can bungee jump, whatever it is. In this particular instance, my father and I were bungee jumping. So I had my legs together, wrapped here, and I'm ready to go. I have my harness on, my helmet, the whole thing. The tour guide is telling us something. I can't hear him because my father behind me goes, psst, just so you know, a broken rubber brought you into this world. And a broken rubber can take you out. And then he Spartan kicked me off. But then something weird happened. I became 18, and I was no longer a liability, but I was a source of income. I was a man. And I was going on my first date. Now I was nervous my first date. I was in the bathroom, I was combing my hair, I was popping my pimples, I was doing what you need to do at the ripe old age of 18, and my father took it upon himself to walk into the room, and he hands me a condom. He looks me in my face and he says, son, the amount of effort it takes to put on a condom beats the amount of effort it takes raising a kid. Good luck tonight. And he walks out. And you have to understand, this is the first time in my life my father and I have ever had a galvanizing moment. A moment of clarity, a moment of peace, a moment of recognition. This man saw me as his equal for the first time in my life. And as I look at that condom, it reads extra small. It fit like a glove. So the thing is, like, with my father, raising me how he was a huge positive influence in my life. It's caused me to do stuff like this, right? It's caused me to do comedy, to do acting, to do all that fun stuff, and it's really put me out there. But I think part of the problem is it also made dating really, really complicated for me. Because I can't date people who aren't, how do I put this? With it, if you will. I don't know if you're dating in 2026, but it is much easier to ride a unicycle blindfolded through like a bomb maze with like a Rubik's Cube. It is insanely difficult, right? I went on a date with this girl one time. All we were doing, we were just getting coffee. It was super simple. And I was like, cool, this is awesome. Halfway through, she goes, "You're a comedian. Tell me a joke." I was like, all right, well, how PC are you? And she went, "I only use MacBooks." All right, there wasn't going to be a second date. So I was like, screw it, I'm not going to go on the apps. I'm going to go find somebody the old-fashioned way. And as an actor, I was very fortunate enough to meet this very lovely woman on set. We were filming a commercial for the Government of Canada. It's a human sex trafficking commercial. You may have seen it. It was an unskippable ad on YouTube. It was everywhere. It was a weird time. I'll get to that momentarily. But I'm going to date this girl, and like after the whole shoot, we go back to her place, and the chemistry is electric. We get back there. She's like, "I'm gonna go shower. You go put on something from Netflix." And I was like, "Deal." She goes to shower. I pick something on Netflix. She comes back out wearing nothing but a robe, and I was like, "Yeah." And then she walks back around, goes to the microwave, turns it on, walks over to me, takes off her robe, and now I'm turned on, and we start making out. But I have ADHD, so the problem with that is I realize that there is nothing popping in that microwave. And I say, "Did you put popcorn in there?" And she looked at me, slightly offended, and went, "Justin, you of all people should know that you have to preheat your microwaves." She was dumb hot, people. She was so dumb hot that I actually worked with her on 2 commercials. So as I mentioned, I did a Government of Canada commercial. In that, I play the guy who human sex traffics her. Yeah, no, it's bad. Because when I went for the audition, they said, "Can you throw a punch?" And I said, "Yeah." And they went, "Can you punch this dummy?" So I did. And they went, "Seems good." And then they hired this girl who, for context, you can see the commercial, you can Google it yourself, she's black. And they went, "Good. Now pretend to punch her." Am I getting paid for this? If you do it right. So I did, obviously, faking. And they went, "Cool." They gave us the role. We did the audition, perfect. As we finished that audition, no word of a lie, we get another audition together for Cineplex, where they advertise the VIP section. So if you've ever been to Cineplex, there is a VIP for the rich people, and then where I go, which is like the poor, regular Cineplex. If you go to the regular Cineplex, they advertise for the VIP. But again, if you've been to Cineplex recently, sometimes they have Government of Canada commercials sprinkled in there. Oh no, it's correct. Because somebody in all their wisdom decided to not only put my face on a billboard, but also run the VIP Cineplex commercial, and then the human sex trafficking commercial, back to back. So it just looks like one wrong commercial of me taking this nice woman out to VIP dinner, and then somehow taking her out to get trafficked. I have never received so many death threats in my life. My neighbors would look at me like, you heathen. I don't know about the rest of you, but my 2026 is going pretty well. Is anybody celebrating any anniversaries? I heard Ryan said there's a birthday going on. Yeah? No? You? Perfect. Brilliant. Happy birthday. I am celebrating something too. This is going to be quite selfish of me. This is what we call an easy applause break in the business. But I am celebrating my 2 years being cancer-free. Thank you. Here's my story of woe. In 2024, it was full of ups and downs, highs and lows, okay? One of my biggest career successes is I was invited to go to the Juno Awards to watch my buddy Kyle Brownrick win Comedy Album of the Year. But when I got home that next day, there was a lump on my testicle. And I was 30 at the time, and I'm like, I've seen you many a time. There has never been a lump. So naturally I was concerned. So I called my doctor, and I was like, yo, there's a lump on my testicle, can you see me? And she went, absolutely. Now, objectively, my doctor paid for her medical degree through modeling. She was a sunshine model, bikini model. She is pretty. When I walked in, she went, Mr. Williams, I need you to drop your pants right now. I am living my fantasy. And she gets this wheelie chair, rolls up, cups it, and then with her thumb, very gently just goes, I don't like how that feels. Which is not something you want your doctor to say. And she goes, you're going to need to see a urologist. And I said, cool, when? And she said, as soon as possible. No later did I pull my pants off, walk out of the door, did I get a call from a urologist. And they said, come now. So I go over, and I meet this dude. He is 6'8", born in Russia, but has a Greek last name. His name is Dr. Papalikanow. Can't make that up. And I walk into the room, and he's washing his hands, and he's like, oh, comrade, throw up your pants. And I was like, this is my worst nightmare. So I drop my pants, I spread them. Again, same thing. He gets a chair, goes under, holds it, gently rubs it, and then goes, you need an ultrasound. I said, when? He goes, tomorrow. And I said, when should I be here? He goes, 8 a.m. It'll be you and a bunch of pregnant people. I show up at 8 a.m. and it's me and a bunch of pregnant people. And I sit next to this one lady. No, I've never had kids, and I've never known anybody really to have a kid like this. The woman next to me was having twins, and she was 8.5 months pregnant, and she was very grumpy. It was 8 in the morning, and she looks at me and she's like, what are you doing here? That laugh said everything. And I went, there's something growing inside me, and I think it's trying to kill me. And she looked at her stomach and went, same. At this time, a dude calls my name, I get up, I go. Now, it's his first day on the job, I'm his second person. He's like the usher that brings you to the room. So he has an iPad, he's checking my credentials, he brings me to the room and he goes, all right, Mr. Williams, in there is a gown I want you to change into. There is a bed to the side. I'm going to need you to change that gown, lay down on the bed, the technician will be with you momentarily. I say, cool. I go into the room, there's no bed. there's just a chair, like this. So again, my recollection, my knowledge of this cancer so far is this. That's all I know. So I disrobed into that like gown they gave me with like the open butt thing, and I just went, it's kind of Captain Morgan did, just waiting. This 70-year-old man turns the corner and he goes like this. That's new. And I was like, sir, there's no bed. And he went, that's Doug Ford's fault. He walks back, he brings the bed, I lay down, whatever it is, and he goes, you might know, I'm 70. I want to retire soon. Do you mind if I bring my protege to work on you? And I said, absolutely. I'm going to pause the story for a second. Have you ever had a job and an employee leaves and you're like, bye friend, I'll see you around. You guys pretend to make plans you never actually do. You occasionally like their Instagram story, and maybe you meet them at a festival or at a Cineplex watching some guy take a girl on a date and then sell her. I used to babysit this girl when I was 14 years old. Her name was Sarah. A year later, her and her family moved to a different part of Mississauga. Never saw her again. Until I look up, there's Sarah. She looks at me, I look at her, and I'm like, oh, hello. We exchanged like 8 terabytes of information, and she goes, hi. And I don't know why I said this, but I'm like, how's mom? So she gets down there, and she's just like, she's checking everything. She's doing everything properly. Sarah's a really good technician, I must admit. But it gets to the really weird part, where the old man goes, move the dick out the way. And Sarah looks at him, looks at me, looks at him, reaches in to grab like one of those tongue suppressor things, and proceeds to flick my dick like it's roadkill on a hot pavement. That's a visual for it, isn't it? But anyways, so after all that said and done, I end up going for everything. I end up, finding out I do have cancer. It had spread to my lower back. But they found it stage 2, which was very good, very early. So I had 55 hours of chemo in 9 weeks. For context, my aunt had breast cancer. She had 36 hours over 6 months. Like, she was still able to work. Getting up for me was difficult. And I remember I was sitting there, and it was my second or third last day, and I was angry, because I'm in pain, I have brain fog, I can't remember anything. It was terrible. And there was this girl there, and she was in her mid-50s. And I'd seen her a couple times. And I was crying, and I was so sad. And she goes, tell me 3 things that are going well for you right now. I was like, I had my family, I had my dog, I made money off commercials where I beat people. And she's like, is your treatment working? And I said, yes. This is a redundancy round. I'm technically already cancer-free. And she goes, mine isn't. She said, I've been doing this for 2 years. This is the end for me. And I'm like, oh my God, why are you doing this? And she goes, because this chemo has given me a chance to see my son get married. Gave me a chance to hold my grandbaby. Gave me a chance to appreciate life one more time. And I sat there for a minute going, I'm a dick. And then she goes, by the way, is this you sex trafficking a girl? Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Justen Williams. Thank you so much.
Give it up for Justen Williams. Hey. Yeah. Someone else was celebrating something. Yeah. What are you celebrating? I want to know. Your 50th? Why do you guys all look younger up here? Is it the sweet corn? Is it you? Oh man. Someone pointed out I said your first comic of the night. And as the host, I hate when people come up to me like, you were really good, you should try comedy. I'm like, okay. You know? Alright, yeah, I'm just talking. I don't know how, even though I look like Hobo Baggins in Lord of the Onion Rings, my ex-wife was a doctor, my current girlfriend is a doctor. So either I like doctors or they like guys with problems. I don't know what it is, but I'll tell you.